are so many awesome sounding books coming out this year. Like, we are #blessed. Hello, my name is Kat, and today I will be talking about my most anticipated book releases of 2017. There are many, too many that I can't talk about all of them in this video, but I have put together a list of my top 10-ish books of 2017 that I personally am most looking forward to. We're starting with Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken, and this just came out on January 3rd. This is the sequel to Passenger, the conclusion to that duology, and also the BOOKSPLOSION Book of the Month pick for January. This month, the read-along is being sponsored by Disney Hyperion, and I am so excited to read this because I love Passenger. I've loved all of Alexandra Bracken's books, but especially with this one, I'm so excited to revisit these characters again and to experience the second half of the story. I can't really talk about the synopsis of the sequel too much, but if you don't know, the first book is about a girl who discovers that she has the ability to travel through time, and she's kind of blackmailed into traveling through time to track down this very powerful, dangerous item. It's like a scavenger hunt through time and throughout the entire world. Like, we travel all over the place, and it's just such a cool premise, such great characters. I cannot wait to see how this duology wraps up. The BOOKSPLOSION live show is happening on February 4th, so that is your read-by date if you want to join in on the read-along fun. All of the relevant details about that are down below in the description if you want to check it out. Moving on to History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, which comes out on January 17th. This is a standalone contemporary novel about a boy named Griffin whose ex-boyfriend Theo has died. Even though they were broken up, Griffin still believed that he and Theo would get back together someday, even though Theo had been dating someone else, and now that Theo is gone, the only person that can really understand what Griffin is going through is Theo's most recent boyfriend. Does that make sense? Did I explain that right? I loved Adam's debut novel, and I am so excited for this one, especially because I'm gonna be in New York next week, and I'm going to the release party. I love New York. I love book launch parties. I'm hyped. Next up, I have here Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and this is out on January 31st. This is a debut novel. It looks like it's going to be the first in a series, and the main thing I've heard about this is that it's kind of like The Night Circus, but for a YA audience. Instead of focusing on a couple, we focus on these two sisters who have always dreamed of going to this mysterious interactive performance, and once they get there, they find out that it's much more than they bargained for. I loved The Night Circus, so if this is along those lines, I want it. Also, it's just been getting great buzz since like BEA of last year, so I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. Next up, I have here A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, and this is out on February 21st. This is the third and final book in the Shades of Magic trilogy. I adored book 1, A Darker Shade of Magic. I've adored all of Victoria Schwab's books that I've read. I love her writing style. I love her storytelling. I love her books. Though I actually have not yet read book 2 in this trilogy, so that's on the to-do list, but it will be happening soon. I'm also excited for Victoria Schwab's other book coming out this year, This Dark Duet, which is going to be out in June. Even though, again, I haven't read the first book, so I'm going to have to marathon that duology this summer as well. The next book I have here is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which is coming out for real this time on March 28th. This book was my #1 most anticipated release of 2016. So of course it got pushed to 2017. But it's finally actually coming in March. Just gotta wait like 2 more months. Laini Taylor is one of my favorite authors. Like, I love her writing style so much. Her word choice, the way she strings words together into sentences, it's beautiful and lyrical and magical, and I love her writing, and I cannot wait for her new book! It's happening in March. It better happen in March. Next up, I have here A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is coming out on May 2nd. This is the sequel to A Court of Mist and Fury. It's the third book in this trilogy arc. I've heard there's going to be more books in the series, but I believe it's like a companion spin-off situation. It's not clear yet though. I have a lot of feelings about this book. Most of them are good, but admittedly I am a bit nervous because this is a finale. Like, I'm always nervous about finales, and even though I've read a lot of Sarah J. Maas's books, she hasn't come out with a finale to a series yet. So I'm anxious just because I want this to be beautiful and wonderful and like everything I want. Like, book 2 was so satisfying for me. Like, it was everything I wanted. And I just hope that this trend continues because I cannot wait to read this book. Also, even though we do not yet have a title, nor cover, nor release date, I'm looking forward to the 6th Throne of Glass book as well. Like, not as much as this one. This book, I really want. But I am looking forward to seeing how Sarah J. Maas wraps up both of these series. The next book I have here is The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich, and this is out on May 16th. This is another debut novel, and the premise just hooked me immediately. Basically, it's about this secret organization that cultivates teenage spies. They're known as love interests because their job is getting close to other teenagers who are important or destined for greatness. Then we have this teenage girl who the organization thinks is important, so it sends 2 love interests in to get close to her. One is a nice, he's very charming and sweet guy next door, and the other is a bad, dark and brooding and angsty. So they're both sent in to win over this girl and get close to her, and the loser is going to be killed. So it sounds really fun and hilarious and kind of meta and self-aware, but the thing that really completely sealed the deal for me is the hints in the synopsis that the 2 love interests, the 2 boys, the 2 spies sent in to get close to this girl, they actually end up developing feelings for each other. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Moving on to Lourdes Shadows by Cassandra Clare, which is out on May 23rd. This is the 2nd book in the Dark Artifices trilogy, and I need it. I need more Emma and Julian and Blackthorns and Shadowhunters in my life. I don't even know where I would start with the plot details. There's so many characters. There's so many compelling struggles and relationship dynamics. I'm loving this series, and I cannot wait for this installment. Now, the final 2 books I have here do not yet have covers nor release dates, but they're 2 of my most anticipated reads, so I'm gonna mention them here real quick. First is Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead. This is the 3rd and final book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard trilogy. I loved the first 2. I am so excited for book 3. And the final title on my top 10-ish most anticipated books of 2017 list is the 3rd book in the Illuminate trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. We don't have a cover, we don't have a title, we don't have a release date, but I want this book. I can't wait to see how this trilogy wraps up. All right, there you have it. Those are some of the books that I am most looking forward to in the coming year. I would love to hear from you guys what your most anticipated book releases are. Like, are you looking forward to the ones I mentioned here, or are you looking forward to some that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments down below. But that is gonna be it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye!